people, everybody here is important. They enter some of our other guests. We can see here the representative of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association, Dr. Stefia Shaibu, ably represented by the Deputy President, Mrs. Alabi. She's here. And also recognizing the presence of Nigerian Air Force Officers Wives Association. She is here, Mrs. Aneke. You are welcome, ma'am. And here also is Mrs. Victoria Wakuche. That is the president of the Nigerian Correctional Officers Wives Association. You people are not clapping. These are the wives of our heroes that are there watching at the front line for us. It's not easy. So I have also here the presence of the Nigerian Civil Defense Officers Wives Association, ably represented here. Please wave your hands. You're welcome, ma'am. And we keep recognizing our guests as they come in. Thank you very much for coming. Just sit tight and enjoy the program. God bless you. And tomorrow, over to you.
At this moment, I just want to say that for us here in the comfort of this room, we're just not enough to drive the dream of the Nigerian woman. We have here people that we have, wonderful, great women that we have identified as unsung heroines, and they're here with us. Some of them, but at the appropriate time, you will get to see them. Please, can we, yes. Thank you very much. At the appropriate time, we'll bring them on. At this moment, I'd like to inform us that we have with us the Executive Governor, Taraba State, who is our special guest of honor, His Excellency Abu Kefas. Please, can we welcome him very, very warmly? Let's give him the Nigerian welcome. We also have in his company, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, manager Penhall Consult Limited, who is here with us. Our host is here now? Yes. Thank you so very much. We have here our host, is a he for she committed, Major General Adamu Laka, National Coordinator, National Center, Counter-Terrorism Center host. Please, I want the applause to be so loud. He realizes the fact that security is an imperative for development, and that's why he's hosting us in his premise today. Thank you very much.
It's just to stabilize everywhere and invite Laka to now.
Okay. Recognitions will continue, but we need to move on now. That is in the spirit of NIPR. At this moment, Your Excellencies all, very, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite the National Coordinator, National Counter-Terrorism Center, Major General Adamu Laka, who will address us and welcome us formally. Please, let's put our hands together for him. And may I request that we have one house, please.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Okay. Maybe just from that.
Yes, sir. And let me just pack. Thank you.
I've never been in a room with so many beautiful women. I think I don't need to be remain in the army. The special guest of honor, His Excellency Dr. Abu Kefas, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, members of the Federal Executive Council. Can we please have one house here, please? Honorable Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Honorable Minister of State and State Labor, Honorable Minister of State Education, Her Excellency Senator Zainab Kure, Honorable Minister Akintunde Rotimi Jr., Chairman House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, Special Advisor on Projects, Aisha Digel, the Director, Chief Executive Officer, NFIU, Hajia Hafsat Abubakar Bakari, Director General NEMA, Hajia Zubaida Umar, the Comptroller General of Nigerian Immigration Service, His Excellency, the Ambassador to Nigeria from the United Arab Emirates, UN Women Representative to Nigeria, Second Secretary Economic and Commercial Affairs Embassy of Czech Republic, Her Excellency's Chairman Nigerian Governors' Wives Forum, Ambassador Professor Mrs. Olu Folake Abdul Razak, the First Lady of Niger State, Hajia Fatima Bago, and of Imo State, President of the Nigerian Air Force Officers' Wives Association, Mrs. Ngozi Aneke, President Naoa, Mrs. Sefia Hassan Shoaibu, President, officials, and members of the NIPR, representatives of ministries, departments, and agencies, guest speakers, panelists, members of management and staff of the National Counterterrorism Center. Sorry, this protocol list is too much. Please, so apart from His Excellency, the Executive Governor, our special guest, please let's stand on existing protocols established. Since we are commemorating International Women's Day, I would like to begin with a quote from Ntozake Shange, a renowned poet, who said, and I quote, "Where there is a woman, there is magic." It is indeed a delight to warmly welcome you all to the National Counterterrorism Center for this momentous occasion. I do so on behalf of the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, MNI. This event is co-hosted with the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations to commemorate this year's International Women's Day, and I wish to commend the President and leadership of the Institute for their partnership and continued dedication to strengthening strategic communication and national cohesion in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, International Women's Day offers a valuable opportunity to reflect on the critical role of women in shaping inclusive societies and reinforcing the foundations of peace and security. This year's theme, Communicate to Balance, Gain Equity, Empower Women, is particularly relevant in today's complex information and security environment. The theme stresses the power of communication and reminds us that the way narratives are constructed and shared can either deepen divisions, or build bridges of understanding, trust, and the cohesion across societies. For us at the National Counterterrorism Center, whose mandate entails the coordination of national efforts on counterterrorism as well as preventing and countering violent extremism, we recognize that sustainable security extends beyond kinetic response. It is firmly grounded in the preventive principles, which are aptly captured in our policy frameworks and National Action Plan for Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism. This framework advocates for balanced engagement, gender inclusion, and the empowerment of women as key contributors to peace building, resilience, and national stability. We continue to acknowledge the indispensable role women play in the society as community influencers, peace builders, early warning actors, and agents of positive change. In this regard, we remain firm on our foundational principles of whole of government and the whole of society approach, recognizing that lasting security and peace cannot be achieved through security institutions alone, but through sustained collaboration across government institutions, civil society, and professional bodies. It is on this footing that our partnership with the National Institute of Public Relations becomes particularly significant, given its vital role in shaping narratives, strengthening strategic communication, and promoting responsible information management in support of national objectives. In an era where narratives shape perceptions and influence realities, the role of public relations professionals in promoting credible information, countering harmful narratives, and fostering social cohesion remains indispensable. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we commiserate International Women's Day, it is also important to place women at the center of today's reflection. Women remain central to the stability and progress of every society. They are not only caregivers or nurturers of family, but also leaders, mediators, educators, and builders of peace whose influence extends across communities and generations. Today's event, therefore, also serves as a reminder of the importance of creating more space for women's voices, leadership, and participation in aspects of national life, including security and governance. Here at the center, we have since recognized this imperative and have been deliberate in strengthening the inclusion of women in our processes and engagements, in line with our commitment to exclusive and people-centered approaches to national security. From my viewpoint, this gathering promised to be rich and insightful. I therefore encourage all participants to engage actively. Once again, I sincerely appreciate the National Institute of Public Relations and for this collaboration, as well as all stakeholders, distinguished guests, and participants who have taken time to be here. On this note, it is my distinct honor to, on behalf of the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, MNI, to welcome you all once again, and I wish us a productive and impactful engagement. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much, sir. Please give him another round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, when you said that it's the first time you're in a room with so many women, I heard somebody whisper, "Are you terrorized by the number of women?" And I helped you to answer that you can never be terrorized. I think I'm correct. Please give General another round of applause. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's an array of very distinguished personalities here today. While the speech was on, we had His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi A. Sule, Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, ably represented by His Excellency Dr. Emmanuel A. Akabe, Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State. Please give him a round of applause. Your Excellency, we appreciate you for being here. Thank you. We also have distinguished Senator Grace Bent. She's here. Thank you very much, distinguished Senator. Please, a round of applause for her. We are also glad to have a couple of other distinguished personalities here with us, some just getting to sit down. At this time, we'll move on to now take the opening remark by the lady who has chaired this committee, the first NIPR IWD International Women's Day celebration. She will be sharing with us the journey, the vision, the inspiration, behind this program. Please welcome Hajia Lami Tumaka, Fellow of the Institute.
Thank you. Hold it.
This box.
Hold it.
Go ahead.
Okay, this box. Good afternoon, distinguished ladies. Just like Major General Laka said, I've not seen this number of in one place in my entire life. And I am over 60 years old. So I say thank you to all of you. Thank you for bearing with us, especially those of you who are standing. We see you. Thank you very much. Distinguished guest of honor, Your Excellency, my chairman, he has been running away from me. He was my chairman at NIMASA, and he was my very good friend. You know, at NIMASA, you have ups and downs. Today, you are in power. Tomorrow, you are thrown out. Each time I was thrown out, he stood by me. But since he became a governor, he has been running away from me. For whatever reason, I don't know. I have to thank my boss, in whom I'm well pleased, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, for making sure that my brother, Agbo Kefas, His Excellency, is here today. You're welcome. Our chairperson, unfortunately, she's not been able to come here because she's in London and there are no flights. She was supposed to come for the APC convention and then stay for our event. I recognize you. She's supposed to be here virtually. I recognize you, our chairman, Your Excellency Olufolake Abdurazak. Our keynote speaker, HBU, Hadiza Bala Usman. Yes, HBU, that's what I call her. She's another Amazon in whom we're well pleased. Again, the credit of bringing her here live goes to my Oga at the top, Dr. Dakuku Peterside. Even though when we went to pay her a courtesy visit, she said, I told him, and I don't know if he told you, that there's no need to ask me to come and do this, because whatever you want me to do, I will do for you. So another round of applause for her. Our chief host and chairman, the highest he for she, the president, chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. I'm going to be as brief as possible because it's a bit uncomfortable here, I realize. It is hot, and we're jam-packed, I realize. But I'd like to tell you the story of this gentleman that is sitting down.
Yes. Okay, I'll take the microphone. Sir, she has asked you to rise. Women, it's difficult to disobey women, as you already know. Maybe.
I've asked this gentleman, this amazing man, this wonderful man, this transformational gentleman. He is all this I have said and much more. We are here today by the grace of God and by the grace of this gentleman. He went for an event where there were only men. Trust me, I was sitting down at home and I saw it. All men. And I said, how come? And there are women in the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. And I called him out. I called him out and I challenged him. I said, you have Nkechi Ali Balogun. You have Mariam Sanusi. You have Mojima Konjola. You have Alice Aji. You have Lami Tumaka. How you have his wife, by the way, his wife is here sitting right behind him. She's also a member of this institute. How would you not put us in the entourage and let us also be there to show that you are gender sensitive? And you know him, he's a humble man, very humble. He calls me Auntie Lami. He said, Auntie Lami, it's not deliberate. It just happened. And it was the week, just like this month, I said, okay, apology accepted. But please do a statement from the NIPR on the International Women's Week. He did. And it was the first news item on NTA. Please give NTA a round of applause and give him another round of applause. And he went beyond that and gave me the challenge to put this together. Why I asked him to stand, it's not every chief executive you can challenge. Would say, I'm sorry, and then challenge you to put together why we are here today. So you can see why I have said you should stand up for recognition. Thank you. You can sit down. You can sit down. And I need to let you know that you're all live on AIT. And we thank AIT for this rare privilege and honor. I have a prepared speech here, but I doubt if I'm going to read any long speech for you people, because I must mention the Vice President, Professor Emmanuel Dandaura, and his wife, who is also here. The Minister of Women Affairs has just come. You're welcome. You're welcome. And of course, the greatest thanks, but he's not even here to hear me, goes to my younger brother, General Laka, who was magnanimous enough to give us this place to have this International Women's Day. Please, you can give him a round of applause in absentia. And NCTC members, please tell him that I appreciated him. If he comes while I'm still on, I will still appreciate him. So good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and the media here present. Every meaningful journey begins with a step. Today is not just an event, it is a culmination of a journey that began weeks ago with a shared vision and clear sense of purpose. As chairman of the planning, please can we, he's back. He's back. I appreciated you while you were not seated here. General Laka is my younger brother. So it was very easy when I came to him and said, I plead with you to allow me. This is the maiden edition of the NIPR International Women's Day. It's the first one, and I wanted to make a difference. That's why I wanted to come to the NCTC ONSA to have it, and he obliged me. So please, again, put your hands together for him. You know you can bully your younger ones. I actually bullied him into giving me this place. As chairman of the planning committee, I consider it a rare honor and privilege to have been entrusted with the leading the first ever NIPR International Women's Planning Committee. Let me begin by expressing my profound appreciation. I've already done that. As we set out on our mission to connect, to engage, and to build. Because of this year's theme is communicate to balance, gain equity, empower women, it's not just a statement, it is a call to action. Across leadership spaces, we encountered, I'm sure some of you have seen our videos in the social media. We had massive
massive engagement. A lot of you that are seated here are those that we personally, the committee, went to see. I will single out the Minister for Education, Minister of State Education. A lot of the people we went to see are my contacts. They are people I know, and they did not disappoint me. But the Minister of Education State does not know me. Tope, where are you and where's the microphone? She does not know me. We just sent her a letter.
You don't want her to stand like you told me.
We don't ask women to stand, but we ask men to stand, especially on a day like this. I like to tell this story because it gives a feeling of hope. There's a lot of hope for this country. We wrote her like we wrote all the ministers, especially the female ministers. She was the first to respond. And the key thing is that she does not know me, and she does not know any member of our committee. She sent to us, I will attend. And we said, beyond I will attend, we want to come and see you. She said, come and see me. And we went to see her. It was businesslike. Within 30 minutes, we were done. So, madam, I can see why the Ministry of Education is making milestone, major difference in this country. With people like you, there is hope. All of you are known to me, and I appreciate you. We were with my younger sister as well, the Nipr. We went to see her, Zubeida Umar. She was also very welcoming, and she supported us. Ayman is my younger sister. We wrote you as well, and you said you will come, and here you are. You are welcome. Senator Shade Grace Bent, I spoke to her. She said she will come. It's a Women's Day, and we will support you. My friend and sister, the Minister of Labor, the same thing. You see, when they put out that narrative, that women, we don't support each other, please don't listen to them. Don't believe them, because it is not true. It is not true. We support each other. Look at all of you, even the men too, they are here to support us. How can I forget my sister? I'm sure you saw our billboards. Some people were calling me and saying, you people have money. We don't have money. Please rise for recognition. The MD of DOAS, Ambassador Fatima Anaba. We went to see her. She received us well. She was very happy with us. And she gave us over 10 billboards announcing this program. It has never happened in the history of NIPR. It has never happened. There's no way I will sit down. There is no way I will sit down without mentioning my sister and my friend, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State. Madam, we're honored. We're happy you are with us. The Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, you are he for she. We acknowledge you. My baby sister, Fatima Bagu, wife of my governor, is here. You're welcome. Her older sister, Senator Zainab Puri, was my first lady for 8 years. Then she went to the Senate for 8 years and then handed over the baton of Niger State first lady to her younger sister. My sweetheart is here, the DG of NAPTIP. I said to her, because where we went, we were supported. We were supported. Uncle, we're coming. Uncle Uba, we call him Uncle Uba. Uncle Uba, we are coming because you have to support us. No, I know you gave us here, but there's more. There's more. All the places we went to, we were supported. So we will come back to those that have not supported us financially. Senator Grace Bent, I'm sure I mentioned you. I couldn't have missed you. Members of my committee that are at the back, Nkechi, like I said, I see you. I see all the men. I see Mariam. I see my sisters. I see all of you. I don't have to mention your names, but honestly, I see you all, and I appreciate you. I was going to talk about my sweetheart. I said to her, you have not given us anything. And she said, you didn't ask. So we wrote her. We saw her. And she delivered. So thank you very much. Dr. Dakuku Peter said, you've done a lot of things, oh. You have done wonderful things, but we're still coming. I recognize my deputy chair. You may wish to rise for recognition. I recognize Auntie Moji. I recognize Auntie Moji, the lady with the golden voice. She's here, Mojimo Kanjuala. She's part of our committee. Yes. So, having said that, I don't think there's any. I told you I have a written script, but I have dramatized my speech. So, I can go and sit down. If I've missed out anything or anybody, please forgive me. But before I go, members of my committee, this is the only opportunity I have to do what I want to do now. I know the president will be saying, oh my God, Hajia has come again. Members of my committee, you have done so well. What I wanted to do is to bring you all here to come and stand here for recognition. But I'm seeing too many eyes that are not. So please rise wherever you are for recognition. You have done very, 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 very well. And I cannot, I'm going. Yes, he's doing sign. Stanley is doing sign, I'm going. But I also want to recognize you, the chairman of our chapter. Thank you, and God bless you all.
May I please ask that we give a deserving applause to Hajia. We're moving on, and I just want to please request that when you come up to speak, the protocol has been established. We can just go ahead with your speech. But before I call on the next powerful speaker, please can all the men in the House remain seated, while all the women in the House please stand up in our usual mother style and appreciate the patience, the cooperation of this wonderful he for she's. And as we do that, let's give them a very loud round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please be seated. For us as women, we not only see ourselves as your mothers, we also see ourselves as partners in progress. We're moving on now. I'd like to invite to the microphone a man that promised a new dawn for the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, a man who sees beyond the dream of just being president, but also using the platform to call on Nigerians that your reputation matters. A man that has served this country conscientiously and continue to do so. A man who is bringing more than 100 and how many countries?
26.
126 countries to Nigeria come November, inshallah. He's bringing that to this country because we believe in this country. Welcome with me, my president, my brother, Dr. Ike Neleako, fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. Yes.
Good afternoon, Your Excellencies, honorable ministers, diplomats who are with us, particularly the Swedish ambassador to Nigeria. We appreciate you, ma. Thank you for identifying with us. Thank you for the work you are doing for women. the ambassador of UAE to Nigeria. We sincerely appreciate you too. Thank you for believing in Nigeria. Thank you so much. Your Excellencies, protocol has been duly established. Gentlemen and ladies, I just want to say a few words. 52 years ago, our host, I want to thank you immensely. This one is not protocol, this is appreciation. Because you are a gentleman, very calm, very organized, very strategic, a thoughtful man. And we appreciate the way you do your things. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here. Thank you, thank you. You can see that we are oversubscribed. Yes. 52 years ago, precisely in 1974, in Trenchtown, Jamaica, the legendary Robert Nesta Marley, also known as Bob Marley, sang a powerful song. In his Natty Dread album, he talked about no woman, no cry. That song celebrated what looked like womanhood. It became like an outstanding anthem for women. But they missed the real message, because that was not the message. You see, in the language of the Caribbean, Bob Marley ministered that song as a message of comfort, which simply meant, woman, don't cry. And he said so because he recognized the burdens women had carried over the years, some of which he witnessed when he was growing up in his environment. So it became a recognition of silent sacrifices women made and are still making, and the quiet strength with which they hold families and societies together. But today, on this International Women's Day, we gather because the NIPR is celebrating women. We believe that the world must move beyond telling women don't cry. The world now must tell women lead. We must tell women to rise. We must say women reshape the future of the broken values in our families and our societies. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is really with great joy and deep reflection that I join friends and colleagues here and those who are with us online to welcome you to the maiden International Women's Day celebration of the NIPR. Today marks for us not only a celebration, but also a moment of historical remembrance, a moment of collective gratitude, and a moment of renewed commitment. Your Excellencies, for much of human history, the story of civilization has been written largely in the voices of men, while the contributions of women while the voices of women were often muted, overlooked, or deliberately excluded. Let's go back to history. In medieval Europe, the great universities of Paris, Oxford, Bologna opened their gates to the pursuit of knowledge, but closed them firmly to women. That was not enough. In the courts of Imperial China, generations of women lived under the doctrine of the three obediences. And what are these three obediences? Women are expected to submit first to fathers, then husbands. Number two, they are expected to submit to sons when their fathers are no more and are not married. So, for us, in other Asias, in other countries like South Asia, widows were sometimes compelled to sacrifice their lives on the funeral furnaces of their husbands Across many societies of the world, laws, customs, and traditions quietly conspired to silence half of humanity, which women represent. And yet, history tells us something very different and extraordinary. That even within the walls of limitation, women rose with courage that could not be extinguished. From the unmatched diplomacy and military brilliance of Queen Nzinga in Central Africa, to the courage of our own Queen Amina, to the activism of Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, to the political leadership of Margaret Ekpo, Nigerian women have never waited for permission to shape history. They have taken it by force. In contemporary Nigeria, we acknowledge leaders who have continued to redefine the possibilities for women in governance, women in diplomacy, women in academia, women in entrepreneurship, and the creative industries. And we thank the Minister of Creative Industry, who just joined us. We celebrate the Joy Ogus. We celebrate the Amina Mohammeds. We celebrate the Ngozi Okonjo-Iwealas. We celebrate the Grace Alele Williams. We celebrate several of them, and we celebrate all of you here. Indeed, if you study the progress of Nigeria carefully, you will discover a profound truth, and that is, Nigerian women have never been spectators in our national story. They have always been authors of it, especially when pushed to the walls. Please don't push women to the walls. You will regret what you get. Again, history teaches us that when women are enabled to contribute, societies do not diminish. Instead, they flourish. In every sector of Nigerian life, public service, media, corporate leadership, civil society, and indeed within our own profession of public relations, women have demonstrated brilliance, resilience, and transformative leadership. So you can understand why I don't understand the paradox of men. While they are scared of women leading, yet they adore their mothers. They love their wives. They honor their sisters. They cherish their daughters. And they are scared of women leading. I don't understand the paradox. When it comes to women leadership, women being in political leadership, they say, Mbano, Bashiga, don't come near. We therefore reaffirm in the NIPR our commitment to a future where women's voice must be heard. Every woman's talent is valued, and every woman's leadership is welcomed. So today, we gather to celebrate this maiden NIPR International Women's Day. We honor not only the strugglers or the struggles of the past, but the extraordinary possibilities of the future. Because as we lament the past, we must look up to the future. We celebrate the unstoppable force of human progress that women represent. We affirm a simple but powerful truth, that the progress of humanity has never been the work of men alone. Because the future of Nigeria will desire will not only be built by men. I'm conscious of time, so I'm skipping some of the things. We now have to be more hopeful and more prosperous. Yet, as we celebrate today, we must note that across the world, and here in Nigeria, women still face structural barriers, imbalanced opportunities, underrepresentation in leadership, disparities even in pay. When you go to do some job, they will tell you that this is for women, this is for men. And we are part of it. So, for us in the NIPR, this responsibility carries a special meaning. As custodians of reputation, shapers of narratives, stewards of public trust, we recognize that communication itself is a powerful instrument of inclusion and can also be used for exclusion. At the NIPR, we have given opportunities to women and they have performed exceptionally well. I can testify. Women have led and are still leading our chapters. They are serving in the governing council. One thing, Your Excellencies, that gladdens my heart about women in NIPR is a position advanced by Dr. Nkechi Alebalogo. She's here with us. Yes. The chairman, CEO of Public Relations Consultants of Nigeria. She said, and NIPR women agreed with her that we must not lower the standard for them. We should provide the enabling environment for them to compete so that they can earn their positions with respect, with dignity, with honor, not patronage. As president in the last 3 years, I have found women a critical pillar in my administration, beginning with my wife, my daughter, and of course several others like Auntie Lami Tumaka, whose energy and counsels I find extensively helpful. Thank you very much. The stories societies choose to tell and whose voices are amplified shape the possibilities of future generations. For us, therefore, the event is both an act of destiny and providence, because if you look at the theme, it says communicate to balance, gain equity, empower women. Therefore, our responsibility, as I conclude, as communication professionals is very clear. We must continue to help build a narrative ecosystem where women's contributions are visible, respected, and celebrated, where young girls can look at leadership and see themselves reflected in it. As they see ministers who are women, they must see themselves in those women ministers. Today's maiden celebration is therefore very symbolic to us. A journey has just started. It has also given us the opportunity to honor remarkable women within our professional community. To the women, our profession, and our nation, we say your leadership strengthens our institutions. Your insight enriches our possibilities and conversations. Your resilience inspires our progress. Today, one thing is that I've accepted to share with you something that I call 11 commandments on the power and strength of women in society and nation building. 1, whenever women rise, humanity and societies rise with them. 2, anyone I say is not true, please say so. Number 2, when you empower a woman, you do not just change her life, you change the destiny of a nation. Number 3, the progress of any nation is written in the opportunities it gives its women. Number 4, a nation that silences its women silences half of its future, while a nation that empowers its women unlocks the full genius of its destiny. Silencing a woman is like flying a 2-engine aircraft with 1 engine. The true measure of a nation's civilization, number 5, is not the power of its men, but the possibilities it creates for its women. Number 6, the future of nations will not be written only by men. It will be written by the full genius of humanity. And that genius must include the strength, the wisdom, and the leadership of women. When a society, number 7, gives its women the freedom to rise, it does not merely change their lives. It changes the destiny of generations yet unborn. Number 8, when you empower a woman, you do not just uplift a person, you elevate a generation and accelerate a nation. Number 9, no nation and no organization can rise above the opportunities it gives its women. So where you want a nation, a society, an organization to be, place women ahead or place them below. If you place them below, you will remain below. I'm speaking from experience. Don't ask me how. Number 10, when women lead, institutions become more resilient. Nations thrive and prosper. And finally, number 11, the progress of any nation is inseparable from the progress of its women. I can tell you, sir, the national coordinator, that with what you have done for women today, see what is going to happen in your organization. Because the spirit and the energy of women have been brought in. You will see transformation. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to inform you again that your country, our Nigeria, will be hosting the World Public Relations Forum. It's a gathering of over 126 countries coming to Nigeria to celebrate the power of communication on the theme, public relations, the voice of humanity. This is one gathering that will put Nigeria in the global map of communication. People who advise presidents, advise leaders of large corporations will be coming here in November 2026. And again, as Antimoji was thanking the president, I want to again thank the president for accepting to be the chief host and patron for the World Public Relations Forum 2026. It is our time of greatness. It's our time of celebration. It is a time we must put our best foot forward because the world is watching us to see what we are going to do. On that note, I thank you for your attention. May God bless you. Up Nigeria. Up Nigerian women.
Thank you very much. Please give the president another round of applause. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I need your attention. I have been armed by the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Air Force, and the Nigerian Navy, and the DIG seated there, the Nigerian Police, to make this announcement. Remember, I have been armed. It's not physical, it is spiritual. All the aides standing on the aisle, there is a provision for you just outside here. Because of the number of women here, your principals are secured. So just use the door because we want all the aisle cleared. The principals, yes, 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 yes. The principals say yes. So please go to there is a room just, once you step out of the door, the NCTC staff, they are waiting for you and they will show you the room. It's just very close. You will see everything going on here. You also see your principals. Please begin to move now because I'm armed. I'm armed by Nigerian Army, Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Police. Please keep moving so that I don't bring out the ammunition. Please keep moving. Thank you. All the aides standing. Please keep moving, keep moving. Thank you. Keep moving. We need to clear the room. This is very, very important. General is also indicating that aides should move. Please move. Thank you. Thank you very much. All the aides, except the cameramen. If you are not using the camera, please move. Thank you. Thank you. With this, we'll quickly recognize the Honorable Minister of Culture and Tourism and Creative Economy, Barrister Anatu Musawa. She's here with us. Almost all the ministers are here with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tobe. Quickly, I want to recognize the presence of the wife of the Honorable Minister of Defense, Mrs. Ogogo Musa. She is here. You're welcome, ma'am. And again, I would like to recognize the wife of the representative of the wife of the Naval Officers' Wives Association, Mrs. Fadoke Oludoye. She's here. You're welcome, ma'am. And the Immigration Wives Officers Association is here also, Mrs. Fatima Bala. You are welcome. Quickly, I want to recognize a royal father here, the Etsu Kwalo, His Royal Highness Luka Ayede. You are welcome, Your Highness, sir. And finally, I want to recognize the Ambassador of Finland. She just walked in when the president and NIPR was talking. She is Miss Sana Selin. You're welcome. I just wave wherever you are. You are welcome. Thank you very much, Auntie Moji.
Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, all very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We're still waiting to decongest the room. May I please appeal to us. Tokwe has the spiritual, I have the spiritual and the physical as a mother, as a wife, as a grandmother. So please, I would appeal to you. If really you are not on the camera, please leave. There's an annex where you can watch the proceedings in real time. Thank you so much. We're moving on now, and we want to appreciate everyone that is here. This is our day, particularly for the women. We thank you. We know that our governors have so much to do after the convention of all the political parties going on, where we hope that our women will not just be caregivers, but they'll also be able to sit on that decision table. So, because we have a promise, and the promise is very significant, coming from the president himself, we also have a promise from the executive governors, that they will toe the line of Mr. President moving forward. And that's why we invited, because that's all we have for now, except of course for deputies, we have invited the friend of the House, a he for she committed. Please welcome with me Executive Governor, Taraba State, Special Guest of Honor, His Excellency Agbo Kefas. Nigerian women, are we here? We want a special seat. Let's give a very loud round of applause to our governor. I can see the Minister of Women Affairs getting up to, in solidarity, that our governors will work for us. Is that a commitment, Your Excellency?
Absolutely.
Is that a commitment, Your Excellency? Thank you.
Thank you.
Please be seated. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, very powerful women, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I have a very prepared speech, but I don't think there is time to deliver this speech. So I'm going to hand it over to the President so that he will be able to find a way to communicate my speech at the right time, if we all agree with that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy that I'm here today to witness this and also be part of this occasion. Ajia Tumaka, you have said so much. Now you are bringing me back to the fold again. So I won't run away again. I want to just summarize the theme of this program by taking us back to time of creation. God actually wanted communication to balance. And that was when he said, it is not good for a man to be alone. So he needs a woman to communicate so that everything will balance. And because we men, we always try to be too busy. And all of them are doing very well. So we don't need to over-label this, it is time for all of us to get back on track. It is the women that keep the home. It is the women that make sure that these children make progress in life. It is the women that also support us. Most time when we come home after very hectic work, our wives will be looking at our faces to see whether there is anything we want to say. Sometimes we have things bothering us, we'll say, no problem, no problem, no problem. But when they want to pour their own, we'll say, oh, we are tired, we are tired. So all these are issues. But I believe that with the way we are going, we'll be able to balance all this. So I want to thank the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations and also all the very important people that have been part of this program, and also to thank my brother Peter Aside for making sure that I am here. Actually, this morning, we finished very early yesterday, very late yesterday. Early this morning, I was for another program, and I'm here. I would have loved to be here, but we have Nigerian Northern Governors Forum meeting in a few minutes to come. So please, I will beg to take my leave, and I wish you a very successful program. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause for His Excellency. Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Just before we watch a brief video on the journey to IWD, I want to recognize Barrister Rimini Makama, Executive Commissioner, Stakeholder Management, NCC, Nigeria Communications Commission, NCC. Thank you very much, Ma, for being here. A major partner for this program, and thank you for all your support. We recognize the representative of the Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Dr. Glory Essien, Assistant Controller General. We also recognize Commandant Daniel Edike, CGNSCDC. Thank you for being here. We recognize Mandate Secretary, our own very, very distinguished Ambassador Dio Benjamin. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. We'll now take a brief video on the journey to the IWD. A short video, please, now.
Leading to this moment, we set out with a purpose: to connect, to engage, and to build. Because this year, our call is clear. Communicate to balance, gain equity, empower women. Across institutions and leadership spaces, we engaged voices that shape policy, influence society, and inspire lasting change. Each visit, each conversation, each partnership, a step closer to something bigger. Because International Women's Day is not just a celebration. It is a powerful reminder of the strength, resilience, and the impact of women everywhere. The momentum grew, the vision expanded, and the journey became a movement.
In the journey of putting this program together is when brilliant women, when women who are passionate, when professional women come together and we collaborate, like I say, wonderful things happen. Success is a done deal.
Today, we are here to communicate, to balance.
very much. The journey to the International Women's Day. I want to take a moment to very, very specially, once again, acknowledge the Africa Independent Television, AIT, covering this event live. Please give them a round of applause.
At this moment, we're moving to another segment of the program, which will showcase, of course, the capability and the ability of a woman to stand her own if given the environment to thrive. But before we introduce her and bring her to the microphone, I'd like to request most humbly that our sisters that are doing us proud are also in the hall. Some of them had to sit on the fringes before they were properly seated. I'd like to recognize all the honorable ministers in the House. Please, I would want to request my sisters, most humbly, that you please rise to be recognized. What we are doing today transcends just speaking. It speaks to these women, these wonderful women. Minister of Women Affairs. She calls me mom, so I don't know. Honorable Minister, my daughter. God bless you. The Honorable Minister of State for Women Affairs, for Education. Thank you. That is one thing that you're doing that we're very proud of. My sister, from the Senate, from the House of Rep to the Senate, to the Minister, and then to governorship. God willing. Please welcome with me the ever ready Honorable Barrister Kiruka Onyejocha. I just call her my honorable. Yes. We also have here with us, please, all the women that are holding or heading a parastatal or an MGA. Please rise to be recognized. Please rise to be recognized. Again, thank you. Thank you so much. We recognize you. Yes. In this hall, we have also one deputy governor. Nigerian women, are we serious? One deputy governor. But we know that Mr. President has endorsed. So come 2027, God willing, when we hold this again, there'll be more Your Excellencies here. But representing the women who are able, Her Excellency Deputy Governor from Ogun State. She's an engineer, and she's doing so well. Our Excellencies here, there's one thing that the Yorubas say. They say charity begins at home. And so we have here Her Excellency, Distinguished Senator Kure, and now who handed over the baton to her sister, who is here, who is also representing that governor that gives hope, that together we can live as one Nigeria. Your Excellency from Niger State, thank you so very much. NFIU. I know. They regulate. Yes, the chief executive officer, they regulate. That's where you put a woman. Integrity becomes the imperative for action. Thank you for what you're doing. Please stand up to be recognized. Thank you so very much.
Keynote speaker.
Okay.
I'm set.
Yes. Okay. The President, DEPOA, ably represented by the Deputy DEPOA President, Mrs. Edosa, you're welcome. The Commandant, Daniel Edike, representing CG NSCDC. Right. For all the women in the hall, please give yourselves a round of applause. I'm sure our makeup is not running, but most importantly, thank you for the female staff of NCTC. They have been very supportive. We thank you so very much. Well, yes, it's hot in here, so we'll move on straight to our dynamic young woman. Wherever she goes, she makes a success of it, and that's the ability of the Nigerian woman. On behalf of all of us, please welcome with me the keynote speaker. Yes?
Please rise, Hadiza Bala Usman, our keynote speaker, as I read her citation. She's a prominent Nigerian public servant known for her work in institutional reform. I'll make this very brief because
it's very hot and we're all tired, so no need for any bio. You all know me as Hadiza, no need for protocols. Yes, so let's just get with it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start by standing on the existing protocol. It's quite a long protocol, and I can see familiar faces. I have so many sisters here, so many brothers. I don't know where to start from, but honorable ministers, Iman, Suwaiba, my sister Nkiruka, welcome. Our deputy governors here, Executive Deputy Governor Ogun State, my dear sister. My own brother, Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, heads of agencies here. My brother Dakuku messaged me on this and I said, Lami Tumaka is calling, I'm here, yes. Our dear younger sister, the wife of the governor of Niger State, good to see you here. Ladies and gentlemen, and as I said, I have so many sisters here, I don't know where to start from. My dearest friend, Zubaida Umar, DG Nema, good to see you. Our older sisters here, Hajia Amuna, Hajia Zainab, thank you very much for being here. So I'll just run into my speech. I can see we're all fanning ourselves, so not too much grammar. It's been a long day. The theme for this year's International Women's Day, Communicate to Balance, Gain Equity and Empower Women, is core. It speaks to the trajectory of where we find ourselves as women and what we need to do to project ourselves and ensure that there is strength in our unity and strength in how we project ourselves. I'd like to start by thanking the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, first for setting this day aside to celebrate women, who I know play important roles in the profession. And then for inviting me to give this keynote. Is a rare honor amongst you to be here today, and I look forward to a very interactive session. I would like to acknowledge the president of the Nigerian Institute for Public Relations, our dear brother here who has spoken so eloquently. He spoke so much that he took away my keynote. At some point I was like, what am I going to say again? He said everything. So thank you very much. Dr. Lami Tumaka, I would also acknowledge her and acknowledge all the members of the NIPR Governing Council, the distinguished fellows also and members. I was conferred a fellowship a few weeks ago, so I'm a proud fellow of the NIPR. So you're going to see more of me in the next few years in my new role as a fellow. So I'll proceed to speak about the word, the power of the word. It is often said in your profession that perception is reality. In the world of policy, we also have a similar creed. What is not effectively communicated cannot be successfully implemented. A policy document gathering dust in a government office changes nothing. A brilliant initiative that cannot be explained to the woman or man that in the normal context does not have any value. It is not more than the paper that it is written in. This is the uncomfortable truth we must confront as we mark the International Women's Day 2026 under the theme, Communicate to Balance, Gain Equity and Empower Women. Effective communication is central to life and is essential to successful living. This is a fact that we must continue to reiterate to ourselves as practitioners in this sector. This year's celebration of the International Women's Day arrives at a moment in our country's history where our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has deliberately positioned women's empowerment as a strategic imperative by declaring 2026 as the year of social development and families. Our dear Honorable Minister Iman is to be celebrated for that initiative. And just a few weeks ago, the Nigerian Women for Program Scale Up launched a targeted intervention for 25 million women as primary drivers of our $1 trillion economy ambition. This is a clear-cut example of policy meeting reality that we desire. No matter how grand this initiative may appear on paper, however, it remains a pipe dream without a proper communication of its import to all the critical stakeholders. This is how important communication is to the effective implementation of public policy that shapes the lives of our people. And concerning the reason for which we're here today, is communication. It also adds to being a medium for the passage of data. It is also a primary tool for dismantling the systemic bias that hinders gender equity. To restore balance in our country and to correct the scales that have weighed against women for generations, we must therefore change the narrative. To achieve this, we must communicate with precision, aided by data, enabled by courage, and the understanding that words shape worlds. In communicating this topic effectively, I find it important to address an issue that often confuses policy discussion. The issue is the difference between equality and equity. I would like to give a quick example to this. Imagine if we develop a police to distribute shoes to marathon runners in a country. Equality and equity will approach policy in dissimilar ways. Equality will say every runner should get size 42 shoes. Is that fair? Maybe effective, but no. The women with size 37 feet cannot run with those shoes. The men with size 46 feet cannot compete wearing those shoes. So everyone should get a pair of shoes that fits them. Every runner should get their own side, and that is what we mean by equity. This is the fundamental challenge in gender policy, where we design programs that treat all Nigerians identically. We forget that women face specific barriers. A mother cannot access agricultural loans if she must trek 15 kilometers to a bank without having anyone to take care of her children while she's away. A brilliant secondary school girl cannot become a doctor if cultural norms force her into early marriage when she leaves secondary school. Equality says every child must go to school. It offers the same curriculum, the conditions of learning for boys and girls, yet our primary enrollment still remains 70% for boys and 58% for girls. Equity requires identifying why the girl child is absent and ensuring that we address those challenges. We must make no mistake about this. We must understand and communicate the difference about why there is imbalance. I always speak to the fact that our school fees as a girl child and a male child is not different. They pay the same school fees. For us in school, we sat next to the boys and we typically used to beat them in math and English. So I see no reason why we should come to a workplace and accept to be less than them. We compete with them in the classroom. My dad did not pay less school fees for me, and I remember being more outspoken than a lot of the boys. So I do not accept to take a back seat to a male, except if the male is better than me. So all of us should recognize that as a girl child and as female, you are the same as the man, and you must strive to own your space around the table. You must pull out the chair and sit at the high table. Do not allow them to relegate us into serving them coffee and tea. We are equal to them, and we remain equal to them. This is where we talk about communication and in a professional way. To achieve balance, I suggest that we move beyond whitewashing campaign that features a few women breaking glass ceilings without addressing the systematic barrier that prevents many other women from entering the building. It is important that we communicate the reality, including the correct meaning of this balance, how to achieve it, and the benefit that accrues to societies that strive for balance. Quite often, issues of gender equity and women empowerment is seen as a we against them term, but it is not. Equity is fundamental to the well-being of every society. It is important that we all understand this, and a strategic communication is made specific to that. It is therefore the responsibility of communicators to pioneer equity branding and communications that explains and advocates for policies addressing specific barriers. For example, motherhood penalty, structured bias that force women into impossible trade-offs between career and families. These are the things that we see where you're made to believe you can't raise kids and at the same time as work. A lot of us in position of leadership, you need to go out of your way to recognize women that are in childbearing age and support them. In your workplace, you'll know women that are within the certain age that they have babies, so you need to recognize and allow them. They're going to take their kids for vaccination. They have things to do. There's a school meeting that they need to go to. So you need to consciously recognize that and allow them room to do that. If not, the immediate thing is my husband has asked me to resign. My in-laws are saying I should resign because I'm not around. So we in leadership role must consciously create that room, that wriggle room for women to remain in employment, because typically within the childbearing age, that is when we see a lot of women resigning. At entry level, you have a lot of young women joining the organizations. You see so many women in the banking career. Mid-career, they all resign. When you're looking for executive director roles, senior roles, then you're struggling to find the women because they left midway due to this pressure. So please, women in leadership role, ensure to do that. Financial inclusion that leaves 60% of Nigerian women without bank accounts. This is something that we need to be very specific and targeted at to ensure that women have the same recognition within the financial inclusion ecosystem. Digital divide literacy that locks women out of modern economy. The land tenure system that denies women agricultural productivity despite contributing 60 to 80% of rural labor. Women need to be recognized as core owners within the agricultural ecosystem. I suggest that we consider a shift in the concept of our national messaging. We must move from using communications to mask inequity. We should, on the contrary, deploy it as a diagnostic tool that exposes and dismantles every impediment that hampers equity by reframing the gender identity from helpless, some of us versus them, to a prerequisite for collective prosperity. We make policy a viable social contract. In my work as an advisor, it has taught me that for us to achieve transformational change that we desire, we must anchor our communications on framework of certain actions. I therefore humbly propose the following strategic pillars that can bridge the gap between an intent that we have and also clarity in driving a gender-strengthened policy. I keep telling stories. Since it's one of the most effective tools of your practice, I think storytelling speaks to people and you're also able to recognize it for what it is. When it comes to making an argument for gender equity, we must go beyond relying on emotionally laden storytells to data-driven stories that clearly highlight economic gains that are derivable when a woman and girls get the right quality and the quantity of opportunities. I remember in a discussion we had, when you have typically an advert for a position, it says you need 5 years work experience or 10 years work experience. The man that has 8 years work experience would apply. You say, it doesn't matter, I'll just rough it and put it, it's okay. But the woman that has 9 years, 8 months will not apply because she wants to ensure she ticks all the boxes. These are the type of restrictions that are factory built in us, whereby we want to ensure we tick all the boxes we're worried about. But the man would apply, he's 10 years now, okay, I'm 9 years, 1 month is okay, I'll apply. And typically you see how they all flood in and they tend to, now take up those roles because we are always very cautious and afraid to sort of push the barriers and project ourselves in a way that we can take that place where we deserve. So for instance, I'll speak quickly to certain data. The International Monetary Fund and the World Bank's closing gender gap in workforce participation could increase Nigeria's GDP by up to 30%. Statistics also say that women reinvest 90% of their income back into their families and communities compared to 35% of men. Men don't reinvest, they spend their money. Well, they will say they spend it on us, but I'm not sure about that. This shows that every naira invested in women's empowerment has a multiplier effect because we reinvest 90% of what we have. Nigerian women are also set to account of 43% of micro business ownership, and yet only 23 of them have access to formal credit. And that's it. We do all the small businesses, but when you are asked by Bank of Industries to fill their huge form and put in all those things where they ask when your great-grandmother died, the woman is the first person that will not do it. You ask for collateral, but the man will just put in anything and say, anyhow, we'll see how it turns out. And they'll go and hustle in BOI and say they'll find someone that will be their plug. But a typical woman will just not, I don't qualify, and leave it. And this is why we have this huge gap when it comes to microcredit. These details show that gender inclusion is a national economic hemorrhage. Amplifying these facts with empirical data deploys emotion and it makes a definitive impact. It will make our people know that the girl forced out of the school represents a loss of human capital. Every woman entrepreneur denied credit represents a loss to GDP growth. Every maternal death represents a family thrown into poverty. Before communication can lead us to balance, we must ensure that policies are developed structurally sound. Our administration is conscious of the fact of inclusion, and it ensures that every policy decision has a framework that has a gender lens, which our Minister of Women Affairs is keen to ensure at every meeting, at every council meeting. And she says, what about the women issues? So she's a very active representative of gender issues across the board. When a ministry proposes a transport policy or grant, digital literacy, we always demand about the gender lens. Where are the women included? And these are things that we need to ensure are done effectively. It is in this line that Mr. President has requested that we ensure that all our ministries have stakeholder engagement, and this stakeholder engagement speaks to ensuring that we communicate effectively. Finally, we must confront the social and cultural stigma that silence our voices, particularly in leadership, public discourse, and the political space. Nigeria has produced extraordinary women leaders, yet women constitute less than 10% of our National Assembly and 18% of our federal ministries. This is not because Nigerian women lack competence, it is because systematic barriers shoot down our ambition even before they begin. A lot of people, those of you in leadership role, women, you're always asked, especially from the north, oh, you're different. You're like, I'm not different. There are thousands of me, it's just the opportunities that have not been given to them. There are thousands of women that are capable. But what matters is for you to give them the opportunity, give them a chance to showcase themselves. That's the only thing that counts. We are not unicorns. We're not in isolation. You're not the only person, we're not the only people from certain regions that have the competencies. It's just that we're the few ones that have pushed and forced ourselves. It's not easy. It's not given to you in a platter of gold. You force yourself, you confront. A lot of you here know the challenge you face on a daily basis where you're being reminded that you don't belong in a room, but you're reminding them that I have the credentials and I've worked hard, and this room I shall sit, and this chair I'm going to take it and sit. And that confidence needs to come from us supporting each other, us encouraging each other to recognize that the male person would typically encourage the male guy, but the women, we must be intentional about it, and I see a lot of that happening within this administration. The solution, to my mind, is to leverage public relations to re-socialize the public on the value of female leadership. This means challenging media narratives that portray women leaders as anomalies, not norm. When you're being seen to be an anomaly, that you're one alone, no, you're not. There are thousands of us. We just need to create more room for all of us to shine, for all of us to do the work so they can realize the critical mass of what exists. I think the ambassador of Iceland is here. I was in Iceland last year, where they showcased what they did in Iceland with women leadership, where they've had past presidents, and they've had so many presidents are female. And that was a critical example of what we saw when we went for the training. Highlighting success stories of women leadership, not as inspirational exceptions, but as evidence of untapped potential. There's an untapped potential in women, not celebrating you as an isolation, but the fact that there are thousands of you behind you that need to be given a space to excel. Confronting harmful stereotypes that equate female ambition to neglect of family and cultural values. Once you're seen to be a successful woman, it's like, oh, she's abandoned her children. Oh, she's abandoned her family. No one sees her at home. The in-laws never see her at weddings. Her kids don't see her. She never goes for inter-house sports. She's just not there for PTC. That's not correct. We're able to straddle it. Women are factory built to multitask. I hope you're aware of that. God made you with the ability to multitask. That's why you're different from the man. You can do 100 things at the same time. You're feeding your child, you're checking the time, you're making sure that the food is ready. So you are made like that. It's left for you to tap onto that and bring it out of yourself. So you have the ability to do all those things. You can't be seen to be successful and said you've neglected your home life. No, you can have it all. So that idea of, oh, you can't have it all, you have to, no, we can have it all. God made us with the ability to have it all. God made us with the ability to multitask. So all of you should know they're not like the man that once he's thinking straight, when you interrupt him, what is it he's lost? No, you are not lost. You put that on pause, you go and do that, you come back, you unpause it, and you continue. That's why you're female. You have the ability, and ensure you pull it out of yourself. Amplifying women's voices in policy debates as equal stakeholders. I keep repeating that we're equal stakeholders. You're not doing me a favor by letting me in. I've paid my dues. I've done what likely you haven't even done. And I believe that I have the right to be in this space, and I'll pull my right and ensure that you give it to me. Mr. President used to tell us that leadership power is not served a la carte. It's not served in a very nice environment. You go and collect it. So all of you go and collect your director role, your DD role, write that exam and make sure they give you. Okay, listening to my speech so far, anyone may think that we have not recorded noteworthy successes in Nigeria in terms of gender equity, but it's not the case. Progress is being made, even though we must agree that there's a lot more that can be done. Under the President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda, we can point to a few of the following. I think I will not speak to it. I'll allow Iman to say it. I don't want to say what everyone else would say, and then no one else gets to say anything. So I'll just move and round up. We need to ensure that we have a strengthened voice together as a group. There's a call to action for all women and also for the NIPR to ensure that we have planned, sustained effort to establish and maintain goodwill and mutual understanding between the organizations and public spaces as it speaks to gender issues. As I said, I would like to ensure that we have gender composition at all organizational levels. We pay quality for equal work, maternity leave for both parents and men. We have work safety. I remember when it was the Nigerian Ports Authority, they had a ridiculous policy that did not give women maternity leave if they were not married. And I found that so silly. What has childbearing got to do with your marital status? It's not your marriage that keeps you up at night to breastfeed your child. It is the baby you gave birth to. So we had to abolish such archaic policies that did not make sense. And these are policies that seek to reduce women under the control of a man, meaning that for you to be recognized as a mother in your workplace, you have to have a man to say he's your husband. Bearing a child has nothing to do with a marital status. It's not marriage that gives a child, actually. So these are the little things that you may find in your organizations that you need to change. On that note, I would like to, let me close with this. When we communicate to balance, we empower women and stabilize the nation. To every woman that is seated here, you are the present, your voice matters now, your leadership is needed now, your potential must be unleashed now. To the men in the room, gender equity is not a woman's issue, it's a national imperative. Your daughters, sisters, wives, colleagues deserve a nation where merit, not gender, determines opportunity. The policy makers, let us coordinate to ensure that we communicate clear and we act fast. To NIPR, you hold the power of narrative, use it responsibly, use it boldly, use it to balance the scales that have been unbalanced for far too long. On my part, in my little corner, I would ensure that we continue to do what is needed to have gender lens across the board for every policy that the government does. So I'd like to thank you all for listening. I hope I didn't last too long. God bless you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Please give a resounding round of applause. Thank you very much. Our keynote speaker. Excuse me, ma. I just paused. Now I'm back. I'm now female. I'm learning from the speech. So women can pause and then they can come back. That's tech something. I mean, that's serious. Mommy, pause. You can't pause now. You have paused now. You are back now. Okay, so play.
We thank you so very much. Let's appreciate our own. We thank you.
The recognitions. Should I be?
Yes, there are a few recognitions that we instantly must do. I've just been told that one of the finest of Nigerian women administrator is in the room. Retired but not tired. Welcome with me, former Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Health, Federal Minister of Agriculture, my sister, Fatima Bamidele. Please, let's see you, because she's a mentor. God bless you. Thank you. By the way, she's the elder sister of the first female leader at the House of Representatives. I wonder why Honorable Mulikat is not here, but I know that wherever she is, her spirit is here. Thank you. My sister that has used passion to draw global attention to what she does. It's not enough that she's a doctor of children, but doctor of the world, as it were now. She represents the UICC. She's the president-elect in Nigerian, a woman. she is passionate about not just eradicating cancer in Nigeria, but ensuring that cancers, particularly the one that concerns women, are totally eliminated. Your Excellencies, all very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me former wife of the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, in her own right, UICC. Oh my God, you see, when you have a younger sister who is bigger than you, sometimes, but seriously, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Zainab Bagudu, the one and only, who has used her passion in medicine to gain a global recognition, wife of the present Minister of National Planning and Budget. We're moving on quickly, and we're going, yes, go ahead, just go ahead.
Okay, we also have Barrister Vera Ndanusa here from the federal establishment, the Lagos International Trade Fair Complex Management Board. She's EDCO. She's here with us. Thank you very much for being here. Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, Ms. Hafsat Abubakar Bakari, is also here with us. Thank you very much for being here. Please, a round of applause for her. We also recognize the Sweden Embassy Ambassador, Her Excellency Anna Westerholm. Thank you very much for being here. Hajia Sahad Mohammed Andoka is here. Wife Adoke. Okay, Adoke, that's wife of the former Attorney General of the Federation. Hajia Fatima Shinkafi, ESSMDF, is also here with us. Already you've heard of Hajia Zainab Shinkafi Bagudu. Then we have Hajia Amina Lawal, Federal Permanent Secretary, also here with us. And finally on my list, the MD CEO, DAR Communications, Dr. Marcel Ayalichi, is also here with us. And we have Collins Wenze here with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tokwe. We're moving on to a very quick one. We'll run through it. We're going to be having some goodwill messages. Please, the protocol has been established. Please just go straight to your comments, and it will take maximum of 1 minute, 30 seconds. We start from the governance, and I'd like to request the presence of the Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, my own special person, who will come up to speak to us on behalf of all the female ministers in Nigeria. Yes, please. We might not be able to take all the goodwill messages. You can see that we are preparing for the panel discussion, but we'll take as many as we can, maximum
1 minute.
1 minute. Just that minute that we use to push the babies out. Don't pause. Just go.
Thank you so much, Auntie Moji. Great Nigerian women. Great. Powerful Nigerian women. Great. Beautiful Nigerian women. Resourceful Nigerian women, intelligent Nigerian women, great Nigerian men. Build the women, empower the women, invest in the women, protect the women, ignore the women. No, I'll teach you the slogan for ignore the women. When you ignore the women, you lose election. That's what we say in the political space, and trust me, men don't like to lose election. And that's why they don't give you the seats. It's not because they don't like you. It's because they don't want to lose election, you know. They love the power thing. And I think that we must learn to do the same. And I think I must commend Haji Zabala Usman for the paper she presented, and also the president of the NIPR, you know, because they captured everything that needed to be said. May I start by acknowledging my excellency, Deputy Governor Nasarawa State, the he for she, gentleman par excellence, Dr. Emmanuel Akabe, Deputy Governor Nasarawa State. May I recognize the she for she, Deputy Governor Ogun State, Engineer Noimat Solako, one of the 9 deputy governors we have today in Nigeria. So indeed, we have come a long way. May I recognize my colleagues? They were all here, but I think they've left. May I recognize all heads of government, MDAs. I see NEMA, I see NAPTIP. May I recognize all the women in uniform, the women in peace and security. I see the AIG, Aisha Baju, one of my favorite persons. May I recognize our women in diplomacy, Ambassador, Iceland. May I recognize my sisters, Mrs. Ogogo Musa and Auntie Zainab Bagudu, wives of our brothers in the Federal Executive Council. May I recognize my mothers, Auntie Amna and Haja Zainab Kure. May I recognize Her Excellency Niger State, wife of the governor of Niger State, who is representing the wives of governors here present, particularly the chairman of the Governor Spouses Forum. Wow, what a month. It's been such a long month, I'm sure you agree. You know, the Women's Month, everybody took it seriously. You know, it was exciting for me, but also it was exciting and engaging, but also it was long, it was tiring. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, International Women's Day traces its origin at the early 20th century. Struggles for women's rights, dignity, and inclusion. Over the decade, it's evolved into a global movement widely celebrated as a platform to recognize our achievements, to confront our inequalities, and accelerate action. The month of March is therefore globally recognized as Women's Month, a period of reflection, advocacy, renewed commitment to advancing gender equality across all sectors, including peace and security. It is within this global context that today's engagement derives its relevance and urgency. May I commend the NIPR and the Counterterrorism Center for this convening, because any opportunity to convene and speak about the power of the Nigerian woman, you know, should not be taken for granted. Ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria is home to over 50% of the population being women. I think it's something that we must never forget. When I was posted to this particular role, you know, I kind of declared it was 9 o'clock. But as I began to implement for Mr. President in this mandate area, I clearly stated that it's not more women o'clock, it's Nigerian women o'clock. Because I found that the Nigerian women are not just exceptional, but it was time for us to rise regardless. You know, in recognizing our successes, 30 years post-Beijing, it's been 30 years since we all convened in Beijing to declare the platform for action. You know, we must also, you know, highlight our achievements despite the challenges. Today in Nigeria, just like I stated, we have 9 deputy governors. We've had 2 chairmen of the Nigerian Judiciary Council. That's the Chief Judge of Supreme Court. This is the second one. Same for the Appeal Court. 40% of our judiciary are women. In the Senate, we have 4 senators out of 109. It clearly, you know, no, don't look at it from the other side. Look at it as an opportunity for us to have more women in the Senate, because that's what it is. I sat next to my sister, the ambassador, the Grace Bent of Nigeria, the only female senator who went to win Senate in her husband's, you know, constituency. She's the only senator who was able to do that in Nigeria. You know, when you go from the south to the north as a bride and you're able to contest and win election, that's what she did. And she's the first female senator from the northeast as well. So when women like that are contesting, it means that there's room for more people to contest and win. So it's because we're looking at it the wrong way. When they say there are 4 senators, no, it's not It means that more women can contest and win. So it's, you know, it's an opportunity. I always remember the story of 2 children that were sent to a city to go and explore. When one came back and told the father, let's not make shoes, or they don't wear shoes there. The other one told the dad, Dad, let's make a lot of shoes. Because they don't wear shoes, it means that we can sell a lot of shoes to them. So it's how we look at things. How are we looking at things? Today in Nigeria, we have 17 House of Reps members out of about out of 370. Yeah? Yes, out of 370. In the Federal House of Reps, we have 40 members of the State Assembly out of over 800 seats. We have 14 states that have no single female member in the state assemblies. It means there is a man that is presiding on their Committee for Women Affairs. States like Borno State doesn't have a female state, House of Reps member since after Asibi Vilita. And she left the House of Assembly many years ago. So you see, ladies, gentlemen, there's huge opportunity for us to gear up and take up all of those positions. And I think that's what this year's International Women's Day is all about. About us looking at things differently, about us highlighting the opportunities. 70% of every sector in Nigeria is being driven by women. Every sector. The care economy, majority of our caregivers are women, and even our health support workers. When you look at the extractive industry, our artisanal miners are women. Those that actually roll off their sleeves and do the work. If you look at the blue economy, who are the people fishing? Who are the people going into the waters? Majority are women. So women are driving the economy, but in an informal way. So how do we make it formal? How do we make it more beneficiary for women? Despite the fact that they belong to the informal sector and they're unable to scale up and to sustain momentum due to lack of access to credit or opportunities that addresses their peculiarities. And I think that's what the Renewed Hope Agenda for Women is all about. I would like to applaud His Excellency, Mr. President. As Haji Hadiza rightly mentioned, that this year has been declared the year of family and social development. I want everybody to ask, what does this mean for me? Because everybody has a role to play in ensuring that we actually have a year of family and social development. After the announcement, I didn't see the excitement. And I said, am I the only one that belongs to a family unit? For the first time, Mr. President is saying that it's about families in Nigeria. It's unprecedented. And I think that that's where we need the NIPR to amplify, and set narratives around issues like this. This is a government that has a human face. In the past, priorities were given to bridges and roads alone. But today, we have a president that has given governance a human face. He speaks about human beings. He goes to a convention and speaks about women and youths, the collective majority. And I think we must take this seriously. When we unveiled the Renewed Hope Social Impact Intervention 774, it's a 9-thematic pillar for every woman to play and win. People were congratulating me that, Iman, congratulations, I look forward to seeing you implement it. I said, no, we're implementing. This is beyond me. It's a huge agenda that can make every woman prosperous. She just has to choose where she needs to play. And that is what the Renewed Hope Agenda for Women is all about. It is truly women o'clock. It is truly Nigerian women o'clock. I would like to present us with a few programs that we're doing from the ministry to ensure that women become an economic power in Nigeria. Because that's one thing that is lacking. Women, we have it all. We've come a long way. We've achieved, despite the setbacks in some areas, particularly the elective space. But we have programs from the grassroots level to even for women that are in formal sectors. But trust me, the government can't do it alone. Women must also rise to the occasion and be part of the whole agenda. We have the Nigerian for Women program. It's a $540 million investment, the biggest investment for women in Africa. And what I love about it is that it's a collaboration between the World Bank, the subnationals, and the national government. So everybody put money into that kitty to make sure that it gets to the women in grassroots, people that are often not thought about. From the pilot stage alone, with 100 million, we've been able to have 60,000 collectives. We've impacted in 40 million women, but the scale-up is going to impact in 25 million women. I'd like to rule out a few call to action because I can see Auntie Moji, from behind me, from the side of my eyes. Number one is that we must rejuvenate the women's movement. We don't have one in Nigeria. We've suffered too much, so everybody is all about themselves. When you get into a room, you're kind of thinking about yourself. You don't think about how to bring other women in. And trust me, we can achieve more when we move as a movement. We must rejuvenate it. And that's work in progress. If anybody has ideas on how we can be able to launch it better, please reach out. Let's do it together. So we need a crop of she for she's. Second thing is mentoring. we see a lot of women that are keen to contribute, come into a space without the required skills, and sometimes they kind of block their chances because they're not behaving well. We must mentor women. We must pass it on. We must prepare them for bigger things. And I'm counting on all of you for that. We're trying to rejuvenate and resuscitate all of our Center of Excellence. We have about 12 of them across the country. We're trying to see how we can strengthen them and even create more. The third call to action is we must invest in the women, and we must invest in the Women's Agency. The women are underinvested, and even the Women's Agency, the whole of the women's space, adoption, crèches, play spaces, maternity issues, there's underinvestments. We must. In this regard, we're trying to come up with a social impact fund that can... You want me to step down? I can. Okay. Sorry, I have to go. Yes. Thank you. I thought that it was important because this is our national agenda for women. I thought that was important that I say it. Yes. But now that I have to go, I'll go. And then hopefully we'll be able to kind of find another avenue too. Because I saw so many beautiful women here that needed to hear what the government expects from them. And that is what I was doing. Yes.
Please, create a forum for us. We of the NIPR will support you all the way. Because essentially that's what we want to do here today. Right. We're on live television.
Yes. So we need to keep to time.
Yes.
So we'll just quickly invite, quickly to recognize representative of IGP, AIG Aishatu Abubakar, ONMNI, first gender advisor to the IGP and the president of the Association of Women in Law Enforcement in Africa. AIG, thank you very much for being here. Mandate Secretary, Women Affairs, FCT, Dr. Adedayo Benjamin Laniyi is also here. Please, a round of applause for her. And we'll now move on to invite next to speak a technocrat woman par excellence, public health engineer, real estate specialist, deputy governor of Ogun State. Please welcome the very distinguished engineer Loimot Salako Oyedele for her goodwill message in 2 minutes. Please, a round of applause for Her Excellency. Your Excellency.
You can make this take, man.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Please permit me to adopt the already well-established protocols. I'm speaking on behalf of myself and my colleague, Dr. Emmanuel Agbado, the Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State. I'm delighted to join you today at this program to commemorate International Women's Day 2026 under the thought-provoking theme, Communicate to Balance, Gain Equity, Empower Women, and the global call for action, Give to Gain. At first glance, these two themes may appear familiar, but when we look more closely, they challenge us to rethink the direction of change. Not simply asking what society must do for women, but what women can do deliberately and collectively to claim space, shape outcomes, and influence the systems around them. Because progress doesn't happen automatically, it happens when individuals make conscious choices. So today, I'd like us to reflect on a slightly different framing, how women can empower themselves in order to gain equity. We shouldn't wait to gain equity before we empower ourselves. First, we must own our voices. Communication is power in boardrooms, in communities, in politics, and even within our homes. Those who speak shape outcomes. Women must speak up, speak clearly, and speak with purpose. Not aggressively, but confidently. Not apologetically, but authentically. Second, we must invest in competence. Equity is strengthened when it's backed by undeniable skills. Skills, knowledge, and continuous learning are powerful equalizers. When women are prepared, informed, and excellent at what they do, it becomes harder to exclude them from decision-making spaces. One of my favorite phrases is opportunity meeting preparedness. Let's be prepared so that when the opportunities come, we can grab them with both hands. Third, We must build networks and support systems. No one rises alone. Women must intentionally support other women. We must recommend each other. We must mentor the next generation, and we must open doors where we can. Too often, the ladder is pulled up after one person climbs. We must resist that instinct and instead choose to lift as we rise. Fourth, we must engage with systems, not stand outside them. Whether in governance, business, or community leadership, change happens within systems. Women must participate. We must run for office. We must take leadership roles, must sit at decision-making tables. If we are not present where decisions are made, we cannot shape outcomes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not at the table, you are on the menu. Fifth, and very importantly, we must communicate strategically, and that's why we are here with NIPR, so that they'll tell us how to do this. The theme reminds us that communication is not just about speaking, it is about influence. How we tell our stories, how we present our achievements, and how we frame our contributions all matter. Visibility is not vanity, it is a tool for impact. The idea of give to gain also speaks directly to this. We must be willing to invest our time, our knowledge, our support for others. Because when women give intentionally to mentorship, to community, to collaboration, we all gain stronger institutions, better policies, and more inclusive societies. In Ogun State, we continue to prioritize initiatives that expand opportunities for women and girls, from education and skills development to economic empowerment and leadership inclusion. But government cannot do it alone. Real progress happens when policy meets personal responsibility. So each of us has a part to play in getting this right. So today, I leave you with a thought. Equity is not something to be granted. Just like Hadiza said, that power is not served a la carte. Equity is something to be claimed, strengthened, and sustained. And when women choose to prepare themselves, support one another, and step forward with clarity and confidence, equity will stop being an aspiration. It will become a reality. Let us communicate with purpose, act with intention, and invest in one another. Because when women rise, the society moves forward with them. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I wish everybody successful deliberation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And it's very important to particularly recognize His Excellency Dr. Emmanuel Agbado Akabe, the Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, who is representing the governor, but he gave the opportunity to the Deputy Governor to speak as a woman. So give him a he for she round of applause. We'll now move on to invite very distinguished Senator, Commander of the Order of the Niger, distinguished Senator Grace Bent, Ambassador Designate CON. The owner of this vehicle, Lagos JJJ 639FS. Please repark now, Toyota Camry. Distinguished Senator.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The men in the house, I celebrate you. You are awesome. I want to thank the NIPR and the Counterterrorism Organization for this gathering today. My darling friend, Lami Tumaka, I told her, I said, she doesn't cease to amaze me. You just, except you don't put your mind to it, you will definitely get it done. A round of applause for her. Thank you for inviting me. I mean, this is a huge gathering of women. I came in and I said, God, if we can always turn up for one another and each other like this, in so many other ways, I think we would just be on the top in this country. I think this gathering is instructive for us. I'm not going to say much. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're not seeing light at the end of the tunnel. It seems it's getting tougher by the day. But I believe that these hurdles are surmountable. We can do it, can't we? Yeah. Women, the Minister of Foreign Women Affairs just listed out the numbers of women in the parliament. It's so disenchanting and frustrating. As long as we allow for women to go into the parliament, forget about any future for the women in this country. Because it is at the level of the parliament things can begin to happen. So, if we are waiting for the special seats, we're going to wait forever. Special seat is not going to take us to the promised land. I want to admonish us today, as women, if you have interest in politics, don't wait for special seats. Go give it a shot. Be bold, be courageous. Because it is at the parliament you can remove all those obnoxious laws, all those archaic laws that are working against us in this country. Laws that guide maternal and child health, mortality rate, and so on and so forth. How do you want us to throw this away? A lot of archaic laws that are working against us. But in the parliament, what you need is more women that will rise up to the occasion and say, men, you must support us. What is the problem? So, the political parties must rise to the occasion. It is not about special seats that we're running around for. All it takes is for political parties enshrine it in their party constitution. Say fini, we're home and dry. All this lobbying we are doing at the National Assembly is uncalled for. At the political party level, when it is properly crafted and the convention carries it and it becomes enshrined in the party constitution, that certain percentage must be allocated to the women. Like you have in Tanzania, you have in Malawi, you have in other places, you have the zebra kind of policy. You have a man here, you have a woman here. We are home and dry. It becomes an enforcement. It becomes implementable. But for us to wait for this, what the special seat is talking about is one Senate per geopolitical zone. So which state will take that? One senator per geopolitical zone. 6 states. You have one senator. Which state takes that? And you have 3 per state. So it is not yet Uhuru. I thank you for bringing us together here, but we need to do more brainstorming sessions to make sure that no woman, no election in this country. Until we get to that level, we are not arrived. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. That was explosive. No woman, no nation. Thank you so very much. We're getting there. Before I call on the next Goodwiller, I'd like to recognize that we have with us also royalty. Her Royal Highness Hajia Ambassador Hawa Ibrahim Adamu, Wife of Honor of Abaji, President Association of Wives of Traditional Rulers, is also here with us. I'm just getting... thank you so much, Hajia. Thank you. Quickly, would like to invite the Executive Commissioner, Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, Barrister Remini Makama, to please address us. I know she's very time conscious. You have maximum of 1 minute, 30 seconds. You are a communications person, so you know what I'm talking about. 3 words makes a second, so I'll count. Thank you so much. Please, let's welcome her very, very warmly. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Your Excellencies and distinguished guests. I have been mandated by 2 separate people to keep it, one person under 2 minutes and another now under 1 minute, 30 seconds. And I think I've taken 30 seconds already. I want to congratulate the president of NIPR for pulling together such a fantastic event. Looking around earlier and even now, seeing so many accomplished women and so many women who are aspiring to be great as well. Thank you for inspiring. The NCC and the EVC send their warm regards. The NCC is one organization that supports what you're doing here today. I want you to know that 40% of our senior leadership are women. Right here, our head of public affairs and also her number 2 in public affairs are part of our senior leadership. And that's just one of the set of women. These are the women who are defining the telecom sector. So next time you see a regulation, an act, or anything happening in the telecom sector, know that the industry is being driven by women. Thank you very much for having us today, and we're proud to be your partners. And I believe I have kept it under 1 minute, 30 seconds. Thank you.
I won't charge you. Thank you so very much. Another round of applause. She did it on time. Our next speaker.
Final speaker.
Our next speaker is the UN Women Country Representative for Nigeria and ECOWAS. She was here earlier, but she had to go to another meeting. Please, our speaker here who is representing her, he for she, you'll send our apologies for not calling her in good time, but that we recognize what she does for Nigeria and we would come to see her. Please, I know you, my brother Peter. 1 minute, 30 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by celebrating all the women in the house. And of course, the few men that are here, he for she. It's a clear demonstration that whatever the women are pushing as an agenda, they cannot succeed without the support of the men. And I'm happy we are gradually getting more men involved in this very noble cause. Like she rightly mentioned, the UN Women Rep was here, but she had to leave to attend to another urgent meeting. But I will summarize in 1 minute, 30 seconds, her key highlights. The first thing is to congratulate NIPR, the president and his team, and of course the National Center for Counterterrorism for putting up this together. We call it International Women's Day, but in UN Women we call it International Women's Month. So between now till the 31st of March, we'll be celebrating women. Now, since NIPR is collaborating with a counterterrorism center, we want to talk about very important issue that affect us, and that is the issue of incessant insecurity in our country. On a daily basis, we hear of violent extremism in different parts of the country. What I want to highlight is that women are often the majority that bear the brunt of this conflict. But unfortunately, women are largely excluded when it comes to talking about peace and security. And we forget, as UN Security Council Resolution 1325 emphasized, that if you do not bring women on board, you cannot achieve sustainable peace. So this is an opportunity for us to reflect and say, Nigerian women, do we have the potential to contribute to peace and security? Yes, we do have. And we have practical examples. Go to Gombe State. The mayor of Kaltungo have 40 women in his traditional council. And he told us that conflict that men could not resolve for decades, these women were able to resolve it. And this is a clear testament that, as research shows, that any negotiation, any peace agreement that have women involved in that agreement is likely to last longer than when women are excluded. On that note, I would like to thank you for bringing this together, and this should be an ongoing conversation. NIPR and the center should convene us together so that we can begin to take action, because talk, they say, is cheap. But we are happy that we are coming up with some very strong recommendation of the action we need to take for us to move this nation forward. Nigeria has about 50% of women as part of the population. It makes logical sense for women to also be part of those that take decisions that affect their well-being. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. My brother Peter from UN Women, representing the country representative. As we close this chapter of Goodwill Messages, it's important that we hear from governance. We hear from our women that are supporting their husbands to make the states better and indeed make Nigeria better. It's on these premise that I'd like to invite the wife of the Executive Governor of Niger State, First Lady of Niger State, to speak on behalf of all governors' wives here, listening to us online, or getting the message where it's going to happen. Your Excellency, can we welcome Her Excellency, the wife of the Executive Governor of Niger State. Bless you. Bless you. Amen.
Your Excellencies, all other protocols duly observed. I want to congratulate every woman that is seated here today for having the opportunity to be part of this a very historic occasion. It is with great pleasure that I join you all today at this important gathering organized by the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations to commemorate the 2026 International Women's Day. As women and as leaders, as well as institutions, we must take on the responsibility of creating spaces where women's perspectives are not only welcomed, but actively amplified. In Niger State, we have taken the deliberate and practical steps to move from advocacy to actions. Under the purposeful leadership of my dear husband, His Excellency, the former governor of Niger State, Muhammad Umar Bago, all vice chairpersons' positions across the 25 local government areas have been reserved for women. Today, we proudly have 25 women serving in these roles, and they are doing remarkably well in amplifying women's voices. This is a clear and bold testament that women are capable and effective at the decision-making table, especially at the grassroots level, where governance meets the people. I remain deeply committed to supporting initiatives that uplift women and girls through education, empowerment, and inclusive engagement. Because when a woman is empowered, a home is strengthened and a society is transformed. However, empowerment must go beyond words. It must be reflected in our policies and platforms. And our everyday action, we must move from intentions to measurable impact. I therefore call on all stakeholders, government, the private sector, civil society, to use communication as a force for inclusion, equity, and progress. We must continue to tell the stories that matter. Let us amplify the voices that inspire change, and most importantly, let us act with purpose on issues that concern women. I commend the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations for their laudable initiative, for providing a platform that continues to shape national conversations on equity and leadership. Thank you for the honor of being part of this event, and on behalf of all the Nigerian governors' spouses, I must congratulate you once more, and I wish you a very successful and impactful celebration. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Please give her another round of applause. We'll now have the panel discussion, and it will be very, very brief. But let me quickly recognize Honorable Lois Alta, Network of Women with Disability. I'm told she's in the building. Oh, yes, she is. Oh, great to have you. Please give her a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you for coming. We'll now have the panel session. The panel session is led by a gentleman you've already heard a lot about. He's a he for she par excellence. As you heard our chairman say earlier, he's done a whole lot to contribute to the success of this program. A Nigerian politician, formerly Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. Please welcome the moderator for the panel, Dr. Dakuku Peterside. Dr. Dakuku leads the panel. Joining him on the panel is the Executive Secretary, Solid Mineral Development Fund, SMDF, as a panelist, Hajia Fatima Umaru Shinkafi.
You're welcome, Your Excellency.
Also on the panel is a distinguished woman par excellence who was a major part of planning this program, Director of the Directorate of Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism, very distinguished Ambassador Abimbola Wonosoko, MNI. Please give her a round of applause. You're welcome. And joining them on the panel is the Asset and Business Opportunity Manager, Shell. Please welcome Areje Adegoke, joining on the panel. And with that, we are set to go. But let me find out. I've not seen him here. Do we have Professor Oke Ikechukwu here? Okay, and we also have MD CEO Gutney Leadership Center as a panelist. Very distinguished Linus Okorie, MFR, my brother. I thought he had left, but he's still here. So, tech guys, let's have more microphones. I'll hand over to the moderator now to lead the panel. Sir, you're on.
Hello. Hello. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We'll go straight to business of the day. The keynote speaker has already set the stage for this panel discussion. All those who gave goodwill also contributed in setting a very strong foundation for the panel section. And so we'll just go straight to business. Our objective at the panel conversation is to deepen the conversation